Just beyond the city limits of Berlin, there is a relic of the past. An airfield the size of a small city, slowly rotting away, abandoned for decades, built in complete secrecy. It was once a Luftwaffe training base. The Luftwaffe was the Nazi Air Force, and this airfield was once crawling full of them. Welcome to Waste Media. Today I will visit this site and explore its ruins and find out its history. Before I get started, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you. The story of Flugplatz Schönwalde begins in 1935, in complete secrecy, as Germany was defying the restrictions imposed by the Treaty of Versailles. The Reich Aviation Ministry acquired the Teufelsbruch Meadows, an unusually marshy area just outside of Berlin, and began extensive land drainage and development. The official story claimed by the government at the time was that the airfield would be a facility of leisure and civilian aviation. But beneath this lie was the truth, and that was the rearmament of Germany's Air Force. By 1939, Schönwalde had completely evolved into a massive, fully fledged military complex. Countless barracks, hangars, radio beacons, and a concrete runway with nighttime illumination were built. A giant self-contained community emerged. A small city, complete with a casino, an outdoor pool, massive kitchens, and countless other facilities. The main purpose of this secret base was to train Luftwaffe pilots. A flight training school at the base was churning out Luftwaffe pilots at an alarming rate, teaching them everything from aircraft engines, weather patterns, air geography, and the principles of navigation. As World War II began to unfold, Schönwalde's importance grew even more. The fall of this airbase would begin near the end of World War II. In April 1945, Soviet troops arrived and took over the airfield without significant resistance. Initially, the Soviets continued to use the airbase as an airfield. Some of the first Soviet jet aircraft were launched from here. However, the location proved to be both a strategic asset and a significant limitation. Situated directly beneath the Allied-controlled air corridor from West Berlin to Hamburg, the airfield's operations were heavily restricted. Every flight required registration with the Allied Air Traffic Control Center, curbing its usefulness as an active military hub. By the mid-1950s, the airfield runways had become outdated, unable to accommodate the rapidly advancing technology of jet-powered aircraft. The inability to extend the runway due to its location further sealed its fate as an airstrip. By 1965, all flight operations ceased, and the focus shifted entirely to the ground facilities. The airbase then transitioned into a barracks and military training ground. Over 8,000 Soviet troops were stationed here, including members of anti-aircraft units and a rocket launcher regiment. The once bustling hangars were repurposed for storage, while the vast open spaces of the airfield became parade grounds and training zones. Helicopters lingered for a time, but even these were eventually relocated, leaving the airfield's skies empty. The fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989 and the subsequent reunification of Germany spelled the end of Soviet occupation. In 1992, the airbase was handed back to the German government, its facilities stripped of equipment and left to face an uncertain future. The years following the Soviet withdrawal were marked by neglect and decay. The site became abandoned. Concrete walls began to fracture as time and weather took a toll. Vines slowly began to take over the base. A third army, Mother Nature's army. In 2003 and 2009, several buildings were demolished, but many were left standing. Now it is completely silent. As I walked through this abandoned town, not a single sound was heard for hours. Only the wind brushing against the trees. A type of sound I had never heard before. It sounded like a person yelling, or a woman crying for help. It was unsettling. Many times I felt I was being watched, but I kept on walking. Everything has been stripped from the buildings. There was only one relic I found, which was a board with Russian writing on it. It seemed like some type of old menu, perhaps a food menu for the soldiers stationed here. If you can translate the board for me, please leave a description of what it says in the comments. It's insane to think of all the soldiers that once lived here for many years. The streets still have streetlights. It is just like a small city, and it is the largest place I've explored so far. Right now I'm heading to a former airfield here in Germany, near Berlin. It's probably gonna take a couple hours to explore the whole place. Look at this. It's got street lights here. It's like a whole town here. Imagine this place back in the day with cars everywhere. Crazy. Oh, look at this. Maybe this was some type of kitchen. Giant fans to take all the smoke out of here. Huge air system. And right here is probably the food hall where you would eat. Yeah, that's definitely what it was. You can see there's a window right here. Maybe you pick up your meal here, you put your order in. Maybe these were used to house the fighter jets, smaller planes. And there's a couple of these here. Oh, it's so windy. Alright, I'm on my way out. Let's check this out, guys. Some large pool. I heard some really weird noises. I think there's some people fighting, or maybe playing paintball. I saw some paintball gun boxes in one of the other buildings.